All right, welcome everybody. Thank you for listening, and thank you to all my 20 subscribers. Really starting to build up a following here. We're building a massive digital army of just true believers. I'm pretty sure 10 of those are my family, but it is what it is. All right, we're gonna go ahead and jump right into it. Uh, Obviously, it's been a while since my last video. I've only have one video on the channel, and that's talking about Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi sucks. I think we can all agree. Go watch the video if you haven't. I'll have it linked in the description. And also, everything I talk about in this video will be linked in the description, but we're going to talk about something that's a little bit more up to date. And this isn't going to be as scripted as the last one, which kind of came off as like a documentary type short video. So let's go ahead and talk about COVID-19, also known as the coronavirus, the virus from China, the Chinese virus, the Kung Fu virus, whatever you want to call it, the cornholio. There's been a lot of stuff going on between media, politicians, basically fear-mongering. And fear is no good. Fear is only good to the people that want to control your fear, to the people that want to give you a, artificial answer to all of your fears and questions. And that's exactly what we're witnessing right now. Is we're having fear created by the media. And then we have, Bill Gates or other elite members of ID who come out with their brilliant responses, total geniuses. I'm being sarcastic, by the way. And I'm just going to go ahead and discuss some of these examples. So go ahead, please pass this video with a like so it gets us a little boost in the algorithm, and then spread this around to anybody you know if you're able to, because we need people, especially people who don't know, to see this stuff so they can open up their eyes a little bit and be aware of what's going on. So we're going to go through a couple things. The first one, let's talk about New York City. New York City was supposed to be hit as one of the hardest cities. Trump calls it a hot zone during his briefings. And, Mayor de Blasio is always freaking out that they don't have enough stuff. And Andrew Cuomo was saying he doesn't have enough stuff and all this blah, 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 blah. Mayor Bill de Blasio said Friday on April 3rd that by April 5th on a Sunday, they would be out of ventilators. He says, I don't know after Sunday if we're going to have what we need, and that's just the ventilators, saying that there wouldn't be even, face masks or gloves and things like that. He says he couldn't even guarantee there would be enough. And let's go ahead and talk about, because this video is being made at, 9:21 p.m., April 9th. It's after Sunday, all right? And they're not out of shit. They're not out of nothing. And I'm going to cuss in this video because I'm just aggravated, and it makes me feel better. So, with Mayor de Blasio, we have to think, he's a politician who's supposed to be representing to the people. We're going through a pandemic, right? We're going through something serious. The whole world is shut down. How come the people that are supposed to be looking out for us, giving us the resources we need, why are they telling us to be afraid? Okay, why do they want us to be afraid? Doesn't that sound like the opposite of what you should be doing? I mean, he said this coming Sunday is D-Day. Obviously, Mayor de Blasio wasn't there on the beaches of Normandy on D-Day. All right, what is this guy doing? He's not doing nothing. All he's doing is fear-mongering his constituents. That's going to cause rioting. That's going to cause looting. That's going to make people freak out. That's going to make people stockpile medical supplies. That's going to make people stockpile food. And that's going to take food away from other people who also need it because they're not stockpiling like assholes. So I want to know why is it the mayor doing this? Why is the governor, who also does this stuff, he's been on record multiple times saying it's not going to be enough. He said that if Trump put us in a quarantine, it would be an act of war. An act of war. He said that if we cut off travel with China, that it's racist. And then these are the same people who go on saying Trump didn't act quick enough. And then we get these bologna sandwich doctors that go into the briefings with Trump saying, oh yeah, we're going to expect 300,000 dead by this date. You know how many have died by this date? It ain't 300,000. It's like less than, I don't even know the exact number, but it's under 100,000. You can go look it up. April 9th, 2020. Check what the coronavirus numbers are. I'm not going to do it all for you. So we'll go ahead and move on to the next thing. Mayor de Blasio is an idiot. Now let's go ahead and talk about the fake news. How does the fake news accomplish the fake politicians that are currently in government? Let's go ahead and just pick at CBS for a minute. Now there was a clip that CBS originally played back during Italy. Now, it's a pretty sad clip. I don't know if they're crisis actors, and I say this, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but because there have been so many times where we've had crisis actors put in to fill and make us feel horrible for events that aren't actually happening. And we can look at the gas attack in Syria that happened, I think, in 2018. And when I say this stuff, my sources aren't Facebook posts. My sources aren't tweets. My sources are real people from Syria saying that was fake. From the people that were there, in the village that got gassed, that was in the school that got gassed, that said it was fake. The children that got gassed saying it was fake. All right, this stuff is fake. They really do this. Just like they did with the people during the migrants that had to come all the way up, that the giant migrant caravan that was coming up from, South America through Central America into the United States. It's all fake. The photos are staged. I mean, for Pete's sake, man, they were showing photos from the caravan in Mexico where they have, gas blowing up like they're throwing tear gas at the caravan. And then there's cameramen with no face mask running behind the smoke, just taking photos of the people freaking out. Like, why wouldn't the media must be immune to gas attacks? Maybe that's part of their CIA training when they go intern before they work for CNN, Anderson Cooper, and that's just one option, right? So anyways, back to CBS. CBS played this clip, and it's supposed to be Italy, and it's a very sad scene. Hospital beds filled up. It's packed to the rim. People everywhere. COVID's horrible, blah, blah, blah. And then it comes to New York, right? New York's supposed to hit hard. We're going back to Mayor de Blasio and his stupidness and the governor and all those people who really should be arrested. It's illegal to do what they're doing. First off, if you're going to try to scare people, you should never be in power. You should lose that power immediately. And it's honestly depressing that the judges or whoever's in charge of this stuff, whether it be the Department of Justice or the courts that are actually in New York, they need to stand up and do something about it. Because they should be removed from office. And I know it sounds like a horrible thing to do, to be misplacing these people during a pandemic, but they should honestly be removed from office. They're doing damage to the country. They're doing damage to their states and to their cities. So CBS plays this clip from Italy, and they go ahead and say that it is now a clip from New York. Same clip from Italy. It's now New York City. Same exact clip. It's been all over Twitter and Facebook. A lot of people are spreading this around. It's a pretty grassroots effort to get this information out there. And like I said, I'll have all this, linked to obvious evidence down in my description for you to see it for yourself. But CBS went ahead and made a comment on it the first time they did it, because it was obviously they used the same clip twice for two different countries. They said it was an editing mistake. They took immediate steps to remove it from all platforms and shows. And, okay, yeah, they did it. They messed up. Of course, they never make up, false news that would promote Trump. There's never anything like that. But there's always false news that's going to hurt the United States, and this is supposed to be the country that they are performing news for. So I don't really know what their deal is. So then that was back on like March 30th, March 29th or something like that they did that. Now we're going to go ahead and fast forward to April 8th, 2020. They used the same clip second time. They said it was Philadelphia this time. So now they've made this same editing mistake twice, that they had to go on air and public out to everyone saying that they failed, that they got it wrong, it was an editing mistake. And now they do it a second time, not even 15 days later? Come on. If you people are still watching the news and believing this stuff, you're just an idiot. And I don't want to sound like a jerk or anything like that, but you're holding yourself back. You really are. And if me calling you an idiot's going to wake you up to it, then I'm all for it. So you're an idiot, and quit watching the news. It's bad for your mind. Now let's go ahead and go over to California. We're in such a pandemic. Things are so bad. We got a freaking boat in California right now, made simply to help these people. We were even told that the hospitals in California, by Gavin Newsom, he's the one who said this. I'm not even getting stuff from Trump. Gavin Newsom said that they were handling it well, that the boat was doing its job, and that the hospitals aren't being overridden, and that they're doing okay. And then today, or yesterday, it's April 9th today, I think he said this yesterday or today, he goes ahead and he said this on CNN. He goes ahead and says, MSNBC, Gavin Newsom, says that they will now have the purchasing power as a nation state, and they will be exporting some of the supplies to other states, and this article doesn't say it, but to other countries. What the hell does that mean? Gavin Newsom is now no longer acting as a governor of California, but he's now considering himself a president of a nation state? What is a nation state? That's a sovereign nation. He's saying he's in a separate country. You know who else did that? The Confederates. What happened to them, Gavin? Maybe he should disappear before something happens, because this is just ridiculous. I mean, now these people are trying to split up the union during a pandemic. How can any Democrat not see this and think of just the absolute lack of rationale going on? It just doesn't even make sense. So Gavin Newsom, now California, separate state. People need to wake up. They need to see this stuff. All right, they really need to. That's from a Bloomberg article that I got that, and he said that on MSNBC on live TV. How come that's not trending on Twitter? How come Alexis, Texas is trending on Twitter right now? Or Fox News is trending on Twitter, but Gavin Newsom isn't trending for separating his state from the union. Now, he can't actually do it because he's obviously not a lawyer and doesn't have the legal right to do it, but he can act on it. And just think, the rest of us Americans in Wyoming, Illinois, Georgia, Alabama, Washington State, all these other places, they're giving their money to the federal government, our tax money, and it's now going to a state where the governor doesn't even consider himself a part of our country. Cut off all federal funding, push California off into the ocean, let it sink. I don't want it anymore. Let's go ahead and move on to our next clip. Now, obviously, we go through these, three things that really show just how bad the Democrats are, the news are, the left-leaning media, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about. This was on a local news. This is a state senator, and not like a federal senator like you would see in D.C. This is one who stays in the state, so he represents the local constituents. And he's talking. He literally says, he's a doctor, by the way. This isn't just some senator. He's a doctor and a state senator. Says that they're filling out death certificates with the diagnosis of COVID-19, whether the person actually died from it or not. So if you die from pneumonia, and a lot of people already know this because the news is everywhere, so if you're hearing it from me for the first time, you need to start looking other places, because I've been hearing this for a week now, and I'm so pissed off about it that I'm finally making a video. So a state senator of Minnesota, Dr. Scott Jensen, has went ahead and said that they are doing this. So just think of how many cases across the world or country are they lying about these numbers? How come China is the one that released this deadly virus, and all their numbers are down now, and everybody's praising China, and everybody's, shitting on the United States on an international level? But really, in the United States, it's stronger than anywhere else. I can assure you that Europe is not being given this kind of stuff. And if you're on Reddit, then you're just reading, European propaganda to make them think that the United States sucks and not to be like us. But I mean, it isn't working. People in Europe are waking up. People are waking up everywhere. People in China are waking up. If you want to see how the Chinese government treats its people, I mean, I got plenty of evidence of how they treat them, kidnapping them in the streets for speaking out against the government. I mean, this stuff's filmed. And you know what? The people that are publishing these videos disappear. But the videos are still on the internet for us to see. And maybe I'll make a video just exposing all that with just me talking all over it. So I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate you guys enjoying my rant. I ask that you spread this out to anybody you know, and just keep encouraging friends and family. Let them know. I'm not saying the virus is fake by any means. I think there are real consequences of this virus. I think it does exist. But I also think at the same time that the fear is manipulated. It is created to hold us back psychologically on a nation level, on an international level. And we need to bound together, not in some new world order fashion, but we need to bound together in the United States as a country. Canada should do the same thing. Everybody should. And we should, really kick it to the elites that are doing this. We should kick it to Bill Gates. We should kick it to, Dr. Fauci or whatever. I don't even know how to say his name. That moron that's always in the briefings doing his little devil horns, which, if you're watching, that's on the screen right now. But yeah, send this around. Keep yourselves uplifted. Keep yourself got some food. Keep praying. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.